Hello, it's Bernard here, and this short video today supports some of the concepts that I talk about on podcast 31. And I'm just going to add a little bit more context in this video to what I share on that podcast. Now, it all relates, of course, to the podcast series Vision 100, Let's Live Longer, Resilience to 100 plus years. Now, what we're going to talk about on this short video here today is first and foremost um, a little bit of history about Kirlain photography. Now, back in 1939, two Czechs, S. Pratt and J. Schlemler, published photographs showing a glow around leaves. And in the same year, 1939, Russian electrical engineer Semyon Kirlain and his wife Valentina developed Kirlain photography after observing a patient in Krasnodar Hospital who was receiving medical treatment from a high-frequency electrical engineer. What they noticed was that when the electrodes were brought near to the patient's skin, there was a glow similar to that of a neon charged tube. Now, the Kirlains conducted experiments in which photographic film was placed on top of a conducting plate, and another conductor was attached to a hand, a leaf, or other plant material. And the conductors were energized by a high frequency, high voltage power source, producing photographic images typically showing a silhouette of the object surrounded by an aura of light. And this is what we can kind of see in the photograph here. Now, in 1958, the Kirlains reported the results of their experiments for the very first time. Their work was virtually unknown until the 1970s when two Americans, that's Lynn Schroeder and Sheila Ostrander, published a book, Psychic Discoveries Behind the Iron Curtain. Now, high voltage electrophotography soon became known to the general public as Kirlain photography. Now, although little interest was generated amongst Western scientists, and these are my words, probably because it reaches beyond the route in which traditional science takes with regards to health and well-being, but with chronic illness rates soaring in the Western world, is it now time we wake up to the impact of energy imbalances in our bodies? You know, does every condition have an energetic as well as a physical component to it? Now, Kirlain and his wife were convinced that their images showed a life force or energy field that reflected the physical and emotional states of their living subjects. They thought that these images could be used to diagnose illnesses. And in 1961, they published their first article on the subject in the Russian Journal of Scientific and Applied Photography. Now, Kirlain's claims have been embraced by energy treatment practitioners from around the world. So there's a little overview to Kirlain photography. Next, we're going to have a look at the difference here that can be seen between happiness and depression along the bottom. And we can see a massive contrast between the two. We've all heard of the winter blues. Is that what we're seeing here with depression? And of course, I think what we would like is if we see the happiness that's got a glow, it's appearing very light compared to the depression that's in darkness. Now, next, we're going to have a look at something else that's discussed on podcast 21, and this is the Hertz vibrational frequencies. Now, the concept of human vibration is a fascinating intersection of science, consciousness, and the very nature of our existence. Now, many people are intrigued by the idea that everything in the universe, including ourselves, vibrates at a certain frequency. Now, vibration refers to the oscillation or back and forth motion of an object. In physics, any object with mass is composed of atoms that are in constant motion, creating energy. And this motion can be viewed as a series of vibrations. The frequency of these vibrations refers to the number of oscillations that occur within a certain time frame, typically measured in Hertz or H or big H, small z, which signifies cycles per second. Now, music's been known to have the ability to evoke a wide range of emotional responses in the human body, and we've probably all experienced that. Feelings of happiness and joy, melancholy, reflection, cathartic tears, and even psychological responses like goosebumps are possible. Sound healing involves the use of specific sound frequencies in order to target and heal different parts of the body and aspects of the mind. Now, sound healing is a form of medicine that uses vibrational constituents of sound frequencies and synchronizes brain waves to achieve a relaxation and the restoration of normal vibrationary frequencies in our cells. Now, as we can see in the picture here, human emotions can influence vibrational patterns. Meditation and deep relaxation techniques can elevate one's vibrational state, and also higher frequencies correlate with heightened consciousness, creativity, and connectedness to the universe. Now, the last thing that we're going to have a look at on this video is something called the Plutchik's wheel of emotions. And in this, and I'm going to play a very short video in a moment that explains this, but basically, Plutchik stated, and this was back in 1980, that there are eight basic emotions: joy, trust, fear, surprise, sadness, anticipation, anger, and disgust. And he went further by pairing the emotions with their opposites and then creating a wheel of emotions, which serves to elaborate on how complex and interactive our emotions are. So if we see where this arrow comes in at the bottom, this is the emotions for sadness. And then the opposite, not very clear on this because it's yellow on yellow words, but that's joy. So that's the kind of polar opposites that Plutchik identified. So we're going to watch a little short video on this. It's only less than a minute long, and then that's the video done. So here we go. So there you are. I hope you've enjoyed that short video here today. Don't forget, we run twice yearly retreats that are Old Spanish Mill retreat, of course, in rural Spain. Please go to the website to have a look, and that is www.oldspanishmill.com. Thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to being with you again soon.